Welcome to She Can and She Will. My name is Mary Ann Brown, also known as the Country Mompreneur, and I'm joined by my co-host, Lisa McAllister. We are moms, work-from-home experts, and queens at helping women take control of their lives and prosper in whatever their goals may be. In this show, you will learn from us and other women who kick butt in their lives how to be the best you can be. So sit back and get ready for some fun. So I am being joined today by Marjie Hadad, PR expert, best-selling author, and mom of three. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Happy to be here. Nice to see you, Mary Ann.
So I am very, very excited to have this conversation with you today. Before we get rolling on everything that you do, can you first tell us about you and how you got to where you are today?
How many hours you got? Hey, Disa, how are you?
I'm so good. How are you? Thanks for coming on here today.
Oh, I'm so happy. Well, as you know, I live in both Israel and the United States. And today I'm coming to you from Israel. So it's now evening time here. But I was born, raised, and educated in the United States. And I started my career off as a journalist. And then I became the media liaison for the Israeli government in New England. And eventually came to Israel in 95. And I got back into commercial public relations just after my first child was born. Well, around, let's just say I was pregnant with my first child, and then he was born, and then I came back and the little agency became a big agency. I was with the big agency for about 5 or 6 years, and then I went out on my own. And so I've been ultimately in PR from start to finish 30 years. Though, of course, I look like I started when I was 1. So. Well, I have 3 kids, like you said. Mm-hmm. I have a soon-to-be 26-year-old, 23, and 18. And it was during a conversation with my older daughter, who's now 23. She said, "Mom, you made mistakes, but overall, I think you got it right. I think that you should write a book to help the next generation of working mom have an easier time out of it, parenting based on your experience and your expertise." Well, other than the fact that my jaw dropped to the floor because I wasn't expecting that.
And that's sweet. That is super sweet.
That is.
It was probably one of the highlights to have such validation from your adult child out of nowhere.
I've got teenagers, so I can't even imagine. I will probably cry if anything similar ever happened.
I did. Yeah. I teared up, and then I really took it to heart and thought, well, that's really nice, but what exactly did I do right? Because I really hadn't thought about it. I was glad that she thought I did well, but let's get into the particulars of it if I'm actually going to help somebody, right? So we've had a family motto my whole life: if you can help, you should help. So I looked back and I thought, well, what is it that I did right that I can actually pay forward and teach and help, so that a mom who is looking at whatever it is in their world going, how on earth do I handle this? I don't even have a clue, or maybe I have a clue, but it's not working. I need an alternative. I wanted to offer a new approach that perhaps they hadn't thought of before. So when I look back, I understood that I'd used my professional skills to parent. So I've been a public relations professional, again, for 30 years. And I brought the job home. So a big picture message to anybody who reads the book, which is called The Power of PR Parenting: How to Raise Confident, Resilient, and Successful Children Using Public Relations Strategies. One of the big points of this is to bring your own superpowers home. Because what you do for your job, whatever your education is, whatever your passion is, that's the best of you. So why are you leaving it at work? Bring it home and help your kids be their best selves using these skills. And that's what I did, whether it came to writing or presentation or time management. The list goes on. But that's the basic idea.
Well, can you tell me about your upcoming 5-week PR parenting program and what it entails and how people can sign up to that?
The program, which begins on May 24th, is meant to be give an opportunity to all the parents out there or anybody who works with kids to give them an opportunity to have that extra help to deep dive into the public relations strategies to parent. So we have the book. We have a free workbook. So you can get the book on Amazon. It's already available for pre-order. It launches on April 4th, the day before Passover, the Jewish Passover, whoever celebrates that. And it's the Tuesday before Easter Sunday. So I actually chose April 4th specifically because I figured everyone would be home and needing something wonderful to read. So you can get your book. And then at the end of each chapter, of which there are 10, and the chapters were written based on conversations with real working moms of various aged kids. And I said, what do y'all want to know? Let's start to help from the very first point. So it was not random. They said, we need to know this, 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 and this, and this. I said, okay. So that's what the book answers. And it goes through as early as, how do I deal with separation anxiety when I drop my kid off to nursery school? All the way up to my kids applying for college and they're having issues. How do I help? Prejudice, violence, terrorism, health crises, and then the fun stuff like building self-esteem and making friends and being inclusive and things of that nature. So there's a range of topic here, and we covered quite a bit actually. Now, at the end of each chapter, there's a QR code, and that will give you access to the workbook. Because in each of the chapters, you have personal and professional stories, what I did, then exercises so that you can apply the same practice to your own world. And then go to that QR code, go get the free workbook. It's my present to you because if you want to read and just leave it, that's up to you. But I wanted you to have something practical in your hand, an action plan. So if you go get the workbook, it's an expanded version of the exercises so that you have something tangible in your hand. But I don't know about you. I look at workbooks sometimes and I go, yeah, isn't that nice? Thank you for the workbook. I'll fill that in when I have a moment, which never comes. So I thought, if somebody wants a little help because they're really not sure how to answer the questions, or they know they won't do it unless they're in a program and they're part of like a structured thing where they can carve out time to actually go through it, or if they want advice through a public relations lens. So they say, well, great, this is the concept, but show me really how this thinking works, because I've never been in PR or sales or marketing. I don't know what you're talking about. And if you are in PR, sales, or marketing, say, well, okay, I get that, but how does one apply to the other? Because I've actually heard this from my colleagues in the industry. What do you mean? How does one relate to the other? And then I explain it to them because it's such a completely new way of thinking.
Yeah.
That even my industry colleagues are like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And then when I explain it to them, like, oh, yeah, okay.
Could you give us
Let
an
me-
example of of a situation where that medical public relations experience helped you personally?
Absolutely. Let me just add one more point to my previous thought about giving presents. I like giving presents. So, and I want to help my fellow sisters out as much as I can. So
Awesome.
The program that starts May 24th, if you sign up now, on March 12th, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a drawing. And whoever wins that drawing will have a full scholarship to the program. It's worth $5,000, this program.
Mhm.
They get free present, come, it's on me. It's in honor of National Working Moms Day. From this working mom to a fellow working mom, I wanted to give back even before the book came out.
That's really awesome. And you said that's March 4th or April or March 12th or April 12th?
March 12th is National Working Moms Day. So
See, I didn't even know that. We have to celebrate that.
we all have to celebrate that. You know, I've been a working mom for 26 years, doing the juggling thing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm still doing it. It doesn't stop, by the way. It's the ones with the little ones out there. It just keeps going and going and going.
You have
Sometimes
now
yeah.
this what you're talking about, your workbook, that's different than the Power of PR Parenting book, right? Because that's a best-selling book that you have.
Yes, there's the Power of PR Parenting book. Then there's the Power of PR Parenting workbook, which is the exercises in the book, an expanded version of it. That is a downloadable that you can write in or type in and then print out.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the Power of Parenting book that you have. I see that you've got that. That's a best-selling book on Amazon, right?
It is. It hit #1 in multiple categories.
Wow,
Almost the moment
that's an
that it came
accomplishment.
out.
Congrats.
That is amazing.
Thank you. Yes, it was really nice to wake up. Remember, I'm 7 hours ahead of Eastern time, so it was really nice to wake up and see that. And the book will be available on April 4th. So we're still a month out to delivery. So thank you to everybody out there who's excited about it. And I really, truly hope that it helps. An example, to get back to your question, Disa?
Mhm. You nailed it, Disa, just like Lisa.
Disa. Okay, great. That's such a pretty name. And so is Marianne. I love that name, Marianne. So an example. Let's take something for the little ones. You guys have little ones?
Mine's 13, so
Yeah.
little-ish.
13 and
Little-
16.
Depends on the day.
Okay, 13-ish. Let me ask you something. I'm going to throw this back to y'all. Do you have any kind of celebrations coming up? Any kind of rites of passage coming up? Any kind of special ceremonies coming up?
School's ending in 3 months. We'll be celebrating that. But I
Okay.
can't.
All right, fair enough. Now, do they get presents when they finish off the school year? Is there any kind of gift that's put into their hand?
I incentivize with good grades, possibly getting something, because my son likes to go to a camp. So it's sort of, if you want to go to that camp, you have to keep your grades up. So.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Now, when you send him to camp, is there a application?
Yes,
Who fills out the application?
I do.
You do. Does your son know how to write?
He does.
He does. Good for him. So in public relations, one of the core skills that we all need to have, and I would say that this is something that we all need to have no matter what our profession is, are good writing skills.
Yeah, agreed.
So why not start early? I mean, I can start this as early as first grade with a tooth fairy exercise, but let's jump up to teenagehood. And in this particular case, I would encourage you, Mary Ann, to have your son actually partake in the application process. This is good. It's a good exercise so that when he's applying for a job later on, when he has to fill in the blanks of why do you think I would be a good candidate to be a camper here? There might be something like that in the application.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let him do that, because that teaches him sentence construction. It helps him to practice his word choice, spelling, handwriting, and advocating for himself. The earlier you start with these kind of exercises, and the more often they do them, by the time they get to the real job market or applying for college,
Mhm.
They've
It doesn't
already been
seem
there,
so.
seen it and done it. It's not so daunting because they've been practicing because mom keeps putting the applications in their hand.
That absolutely makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it, especially, I mean, it also drives how badly do you want to do this? You have to do it.
Yeah.
He has to advocate for himself, just like if he's going up, for a position at a university, or if he wants that job, or he wants to apply for a summer abroad. All these things require applications, and you need to have good writing skills because you're competing. So that is a public relations practice that I brought home literally starting in first grade. As soon as they could put together a sentence, everything was game. I'll tell you something. You know what else is game? Do your kids have phones? Like smartphones?
Of course.
Do you guys do you text back and forth?
Yep.
You ever get a weird autocorrect?
Yep.
Okay. When I get weird autocorrects, I say to my kid, I hope that was a weird autocorrect. Could you please resend in proper English? The point is that in communications and in public relations, one of the key goals of any of the exercises is to have the recipient of the information receive it the way the sender intends it to be received. Right?
Mhm.
So even with the text message, even if it is encrypted, as long as the person understands what you're saying in the way that you meant to be saying it, then it's fine. Right? So with text messages, with emails, because I'm sure that they email too, with their applications, anything that they do, the whole goal is to share your messaging in a clear and concise and understandable and entertaining way to grab somebody's attention.
Yeah.
And you can start practicing with everything and anything that they do. It's all game. I mean, even when the kids would come in and they would say, I want to go here. And I'd be like, no, sorry, not approved. Well, why not? Well, then it gets into a debate.
Mhm.
So I would listen to how they presented themselves and what their word choice was. And sometimes I would correct their English. And then and I would hear it was an opportunity for them to lobby and practice lobbying for themselves, advocating for themselves, and standing up for themselves. You don't stand up for yourself if you don't have self-esteem.
Yeah, it's basically like you're
self-confidence.
teaching them how to market themselves as like the person that they are or want to be. And I think that's invaluable. I used to feel like somebody was selling to me if they were telling me like, this is the type of person I am, right? I felt like I was being sold to, like, why would you tell me that? Like, I don't need, but it's those people who I feel like I know the most, that I'm like, oh, Brenda would love that book because she's really into mountain sceneries and stuff like that. So that is a really valuable skill set to teach people how to, just claim yourself, don't be a wallflower. That's great.
Yeah, just claim yourself. Exactly. And what's kind of fun is that from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep and you're with your kids, you're going to have a gazillion opportunities to do this stuff.
Oh, that is fabulous. Okay, we have one final question for you. What is your favorite way to stay organized?
Everything has a spot. Everything has a home. The keys belong in the dish on the corner table. Period. That way, I always know where the keys are.
Yeah, I do that. I do that too. Everything has to be put in when new things come into if something new is somebody's considering buying something new to bring into the home, is there a place to put it before you decide to buy it? Yeah.
All right. So we have an expression. I'm going to give you an example about where to put it. Okay. No pun. Okay. Keep it rated G, Margie. Okay. So glasses on the face or in the case?
Oh, you made it like a fun rhyme. Yeah.
Made it a fun rhyme because the kids were always leaving, and I'm guilty of it too. but we put our glasses down, and these are not inexpensive propositions,
Yeah.
right? So we have to respect the glasses. So I would say to my kids, and we all wear glasses, and so does my husband, in the case or on your face. And there's no exceptions to the rule.
Oh, that's very, very cool.
Well, I can definitely see why your daughter told you that. You raised her very well. You've got a very organized way of raising, and a very, like, everything makes sense.
Yeah.
It's pretty practical. Everything in this book is practical. Everything in the program is practical. This is stuff that you can actually take away. It's not rocket scientry. It's just another way of looking at things that you may not have thought of, and how to implement, and fun ways to do it, and where you'll have opportunities often. That kind of a thing. And again, the website is PRFOR.life. That's where you can sign up for the workshop. It's on, or the program that's on the program page. And you can also, you'll find a link to go over to Amazon to be able to get the book. And I'm available for coaching. By the way, I am not a psychologist.
Mhm.
I'm not a parenting expert. That's somebody else. I'm a public relations expert. And I use PR practices to raise my 3 kids. It worked out for me. I hope it works out for my fellow moms, dads, educators, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anybody who connects with kids. That was the biggest surprise about the book so far on the pre-reads, is that it's speaking to a wide range of people that are saying, we want in because this is helping us too. So that's the other nice surprise.
That's fabulous. Well, there you've got it, pr4.life.com to sign up, and we can learn more about Miss Marjie Hadad.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Thank you, Mary Ann and Disa. I love being with you.
Oh, loved it as well. Take it easy. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. For more information, join us at thepmagency.com.